Welcome to part one of a two-part series. Let's begin. Entitled Mother ends my engagement and gets me banned from a steakhouse all in one night. Oh my gosh, so glad I found this sub. Here we go. I can finally air my uncensored frustration about the night my engagement was single-handedly corrupted by my entitled mother-in-law. Let's call her Ellen because she always reminded me of Ellen DeGeneres, even before all of this recent news broke. Okay, so my girlfriend and I were really engaged to be engaged. We'd both agreed we wanted to get married, but I hadn't done the formal proposal yet because we wanted to meet each other's families first. Neither lived nearby. I always thought the old trope about meeting the in-laws being a big fiasco was a myth, both because I was younger and more naive then, and because I'm lucky to have easy parents. My girlfriend met them for a few hours. Once we were alone, just me and them, I told them my intentions, and my mom asked, "Does she have any kids already?" And my dad asked, "Does she have a good solid job?" And they both asked, "You really love her?" And that was that. I had their full support for the marriage. I thought meeting her parents would be the same. Some grilling was to be expected, but as long as I was honest and respectful, it would all be fine. Relevant fact, they had my girlfriend when they were teenagers, by surprise, so now had a do-over daughter. Their words, not mine, who was just 6 years old. I met everyone at once, and the initial awkwardness settled once we'd sat down. We were making great small talk when the 6-year-old said she was thirsty. No big deal, right? Well, all of a sudden, Ellen starts screaming, "Water? Water! Water!" A waiter came rushing over to see what the commotion was, and without even making eye contact with the poor guy, Ellen went, "We've been here forever, and no one's even gotten us any water. My daughter's been asking." We had been sitting for about 15 or 20 minutes without service, but they were visibly behind, and there were no circumstances that would have warranted that shouting. I should have realized from how unfazed everyone else at the table was that I should be bracing myself for a long night, but I couldn't imagine what was to come at that point. The waiter rushed over with water and apologized for the delay, explaining a few very large parties had arrived all at once. The guy seemed sincere and quite affable, so I thought the water would just be an anomaly in an otherwise pleasant night. Then Ellen kicked into full gear. "We'll need a kids menu," she informed the waiter. He said that they didn't have a kids menu, but that the chef could simplify most dishes. "What do you mean you don't have a kids menu?" Ellen replied in total disbelief, as though he'd said they didn't have a fire exit. He explained they didn't get too many child visitors, and that there were enough plain foods on the menu that no separate menu had ever been necessary. Ellen sighed dramatically and waved him away. Literally, without saying a word, waved him off from the table. I tried to give him an apologetic glance, but understandably, he didn't look back our way. I was so glad the poor guy left and didn't have to be subjected to her anymore. Meanwhile, she turned her attention to me, and I almost wished he'd come back. At least he was getting paid to be here. She was like, "So, You're a screenwriter? And I explained, well, yes and no. I want to be, but it's hard to get a job in that field that you can support yourself on. So I'm working at a nonprofit right now. There's a screenwriting component to the job, though, so I'm really happy there. Ellen turned to her 6-year-old and went, Hear that, hun? You want to be sure to snag a man who works for profit. Learn from this. It's not too late for you. I could not tell if she was trying to be funny or not, so I just let it pass, looking over to my girlfriend to see if she was even considering speaking up on my behalf. Nope. The waiter came back, visibly nervous. That hurt because he was so relaxed and personable at the start of the meal. He asked if we'd like to hear the specials before we ordered, and Ellen said sure. What follows next is a conversation between waiter and Ellen. Waiter. First, we have a lightly seared strip steak. Next. Oh, okay. Then we have a broiled leg of grass-fed. Next. Okay. We have a pasta primavera mixed with. Next. And on until he'd gone through all 7 or 10 specials, even though she ultimately ordered off the menu a plain ribeye. Well done. She tried to order her daughter the same, but the kid just said she wanted plain mashed potatoes. So Ellen let her get mashed potatoes alone for dinner. Then she sent the waiter away. The rest of us hadn't even ordered yet, and everyone else just sat there like it was entirely normal. I waited for someone to say something, thinking it was more her older daughter's place or her husband's, but when no one did, I couldn't help myself. Was the one steak and potatoes going to be for all of us, or? My girlfriend explained in the tone you'd use for a tourist violating a sacred local taboo. My mom always has the waiter put the kids' food in first so it can get started right away. We'll order once the kitchen has hers. I thought she was joking. Since Ellen didn't just order her kids' food, she also ordered her own dinner too. So I laughed. Is something funny? Ellen asked. Then I realized she was serious, and I shut up. Thankfully, her dad at least recognized that what was normal for them might not be as regular to me, and tried to lighten the mood with a change of topic. But not even 10 minutes after we'd ordered, I guess technically 5 minutes after we'd ordered, and 10 minutes after she and her daughter had ordered, Ellen started in again. OP's caught in a strange predicament, and I think I can see why. Please stay tuned for part 2 for the final conclusion. For more stories, please consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks so much, and see you soon. Bye!